Welcome back. Today I'm comparing two juicers that people think are exactly the same, but in reality they're not even close. On one side you have the Nama J2, a premium, reliable workhorse that I've used for over 4 years, and on the other side the much cheaper Canoly C16, a juicer that looks the part but cuts a lot of corners underneath the surface. And let me be clear up front, I don't care which juicer you buy. Seriously, it does not matter to me. But what does matter to me is this. You have an amazing juicing experience, one that makes you want to keep juicing, one that helps you create a long-term healthy lifestyle. Because here's the truth that no one talks about. When someone buys a cheap juicer, has a bad experience, fights with the machine, hates cleaning it, gets chunky juice that they don't like, or has parts break within a year, what do they say? Ah, juicing sucks. This is too hard. I'm done with it. And that breaks my heart because the problem wasn't juicing, the problem was the juicer. So today I'm going to show you exactly where the Canoly C16 falls short and why choosing the wrong machine can actually stop people from juicing forever. All right, let's get into it. First, let's talk price and warranty. The Nama J2 is $599 or $479 with my Black Friday sale code. That gets you a machine with a 15-year warranty on the entire machine, motor and parts. Now the Canoly C16 costs around $170 with a discount, and on paper that sounds amazing until you look closer and see that the parts are only covered for 1 year. 1 year. And it's almost always the parts that break first on budget juicers. So yeah, it's cheaper up front, but if something cracks, wears out, or splits after that 1 year mark, and trust me, it probably will, you're buying replacement parts out of pocket, if they're even available. This is the hidden cost that most people never think about. All right, so what about hopper size? They look exactly the same there, and they are. Both have a 68-ounce hopper, and there's no difference there. But the J2 gives you an upgrade path. You can buy the massive 100-ounce hopper if you want to batch juice like a pro. The C16, on the other hand, no upgrades, no large hopper. What you see is what you get, and you're stuck with that. Now let's talk about build quality. This is where things start to break down fast. The Nama J2 feels premium the moment you pick it up. It's heavy, dense auger, thick plastic, stainless steel juicing strainer with round holes that brush and rinse clean under a faucet in seconds. But what about the C16? The plastics are lighter, the base is lighter, the auger feels hollow and oddly shaped, and not in a way that inspires confidence. But the biggest red flag is the strainer. This is the heart of any juicer, and the C16 uses an all-plastic strainer with long narrow slits instead of round holes. And this causes multiple problems. More pulp in the juice, fibers get stuck in those slits, cleaning takes way longer, and you can never really fully clear those slits. And over time, those plastic strainers wear out or crack due to the pressure during the press. And here's the thing, if cleaning your juicer is annoying or frustrating, you will not stick with juicing, period. I've seen it happen time after time. I don't want you wrestling with celery strings inside of a plastic strainer and thinking juicing is the problem. It's not. The machine is the problem. Okay, now motor power and runtime. The C16 does have a 250 watt motor, which is actually more watts than the J2's 200 watt motor. But again, motor power isn't usually what kills budget juicers. It's the parts around the motor that fail. A strong motor connected to cheap parts doesn't make the overall machine durable. It just means it might break the parts faster. What about attachments and accessories? Well, the J2 comes with a fine juicing screen and a smoothie screen. Plus it has optional upgrades, the sorbet attachment, the citrus reamer, the big 100-ounce hopper, extra large juice and pulp pitchers, storage bottles, and more. The C16, on the other hand, comes with a juicing strainer and a sorbet attachment, and that's it. No smoothie strainer, no citrus attachment, no larger hopper, no upgrade ecosystem. If you want a juicer you can grow into over time, the C16 isn't it. Now noise levels both run at about 65 decibels. They're quiet and no issues here, an even tie on noise. But one of the biggest factors of comparison is juice quality and yield. The Nama J2 produces a smoother, more pulp-free juice every time because of the stainless steel strainer. Less pulp, less foam, and better overall texture. The The C16 produces juice with noticeably more pulp, again because of that plastic strainer. You can strain this pulp out, but that's an extra step and further reduces the actual juice yield you get from your pricey produce. So while you're saving money up front with a cheaper juicer, you actually spend more on produce to get the same amount of juice. And the pulp gets stuck in the plastic strainer very firmly, while the pulp rinses and brushes out easily from the J2 strainer. And again, if cleaning your juicer becomes a chore, you will not keep juicing habits daily. This is a prime example of why the wrong juicer destroys people's juicing routine. You don't need a juicer that makes your life harder. You need a juicer that makes juicing enjoyable. All right, that's a lot of info. Here's my final recommendation and my honest warning. Let me say this again. I do not care which juicer you buy, but I do care whether or not you stick with juicing long term. If you want a daily juicing routine, if you want a machine that makes the lifestyle easy, if you want smooth, flavorful, high-yielding juice with minimal pulp, and if you want a juicer that will last you 15 years and maybe even more, the Nama J2 is absolutely the better choice. It's built better, it cleans easier, it juices better, and it gives you a warranty that actually protects your investment. Now, the Canoly C16 can work for someone who juices only every once in a while and doesn't mind more pulp or more cleaning. But if you want a seamless, enjoyable, long-term juicing habit, I would be very cautious about choosing a machine with lightweight parts, an all-plastic strainer, no upgrade options, and only a 1-year parts warranty. The absolute last thing I want is for someone to buy a cheap juicer, have a miserable experience, and walk away from juicing entirely thinking the problem was the lifestyle when the truth is that the machine held them back. All right, that's my honest, no-holds-barred recommendation, the Juice Feaster point of view. But what do you think? Are you choosing the premium J2 or taking the chance with the C16? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you want to check out either model, I've got my links and discount codes in the description box below. All right, that's all for now. As always, I appreciate you tuning in, and until next time, make lots of juice, drink it all, and stay juicy.